All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning from the Pacific Northwest, but I also know that it is late morning or early afternoon, evening, maybe even for some of you in the middle of the night. So, hi. Today I'm going to be talking about the journey through the root chakra, about really providing that inner strength and resilience. And so, I just thought that I would just give just a little bit of time here for all of you to find me here on YouTube and to let me know where you are calling in from. Hi, Martha. Good morning. So, and what are you drinking this morning? So, I've been up quite early today. So, I've already had a couple of cups of coffee and I'm back to water. So, hello, Wilma. Hi, Pat and Rebecca and Don. Good morning. Hi, Leanne. So let me go ahead and start this talk, this sharing, this conversation with you. Did you know that the majority of the people in the world, I would say, could kind of care less about what the root chakra is and what it does and its value in the world? There's a lot of other things that the majority of the people in the world really want to know about, and the root chakra is going to fall at the bottom of the list of things to be curious about. But the majority of you who are on this call have a deep sense of knowing maybe already what the root chakra is about. So in this talk, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a review of that and hopefully get you to feel comfortable with connecting a little bit more about the incredible value of your root chakra. So when I was thinking about this talk this morning, I thought, wow, there's a lot of people much more interested to know if there are ghosts in the world, if there's earthbound spirits, do your loved ones exist on the other side? And I kind of had to chuckle about that because as a psychic medium, communicating with spirits on the other side, all they want us to know is to love one another and build healthy relationships and live a vital filled life. So it's quite interesting that even on the other side, they know the value of living in a human body and living from your root chakra. So my name is Nancy Rebecca. I am a clairvoyant psychic medium, but I teach psychic intuitive development and help you to open up those skills and abilities within you, because it's very innate. It's very much organically a part of who you are. So, did you know that your root chakra dictates how much you can feel and experience the sacredness of life? So, the reason why I'm emphasizing the root chakra is because when I first began my journey, it was totally out of a state of survival. I was in a lot of stress, I was in a lot of crisis. Working as a hospice nurse, I was married to a police officer husband. Just that alone, our daily life is going to be bringing home lots of stories about dramas and crisis and happinesses and sadnesses. And so our household was filled that way. But even my own family members who were in the process of dying within a 6-month period of time from each other really just kind of blew my stress level through the roof. I really wanted to understand, the meaning of life and why do we have to die. So in that, I've learned in this journey of the root chakra gets really underestimated in the spiritual journey about just how incredible it is. So I'm going to share more about that today. Also, did you know that the root chakra is constantly inspiring you to reach for and build healthy communities and healthy relationships with other people? Did you know that your root chakra is constantly pushing you, inspiring you to reach for a purpose filled life? So, all of those are really kind of high value things from the root chakra, this little powerhouse that's of an energy center that's located between the hips. In this talk, I'm going to share a lot more about the details and the wisdom of the root chakra and in the further in, I'm going to answer the question or share with you what really the majority of people in the world want to know that is our root chakra issue. What do the majority of people really want to know? So the one thing I'm going to talk about, we're going to talk about balancing and harmonizing the root chakra. When your root chakra, your survival chakra located between the hips, is in balance and harmony, your entire life surrounding you. Now, let's not talk about the whole world, but just your day-to-day life, your working life, your family life. When you are in balance and harmony, all of the events around you and your relationships are also in balance and harmony. So a good indicator for you to know if your root chakra is harmonious is the rest of your life harmonious. So in the comment section, on a scale from 1 to 10, how with 10 being the most harmonious and 1 being the least harmonious, what kind of number would you give your harmony level? And so that's going to be an enormous indicator. So for me, when I began my journey, everything was chaotic. Our family life was chaotic. It was chaotic when I went to work. It was chaotic when my husband went to work. Then we would bring that chaos into our home life, and everybody around us seemed to be in chaos. And as I began to balance and harmonize all of my chakras, those things that were not in harmony within me and began to come in harmony, I could see that reflected outside of me. So those things that were not in right relationship, harmonious relationship, had to start falling away. And that can be really tough when you're on this spiritual journey, because sometimes that means that relationships that you deeply care about, are not in balance and harmony. And so you're going to have to make active decisions around that. Now, you definitely can keep a harmonious center no matter how much chaos is going on around you, but that does definitely take some focus and some work on constantly balancing to stay in your power and your inner strength. So as I'm kind of looking at the numbers, you have sums that are 8, 7s, 5s, 7s, 8s. So those are the average. As far as how much harmony do you feel in your life right now. So in the frequency forecast, so the reason why I'm bringing up the root chakra and why it's of great value right now, you've heard me talk about the root chakra a lot before. In the July frequency forecast, we talked about some of the biggest energy frequencies in July are secrecy and justice, and mermaid energy, which is more mystical and magical, which I'm going to talk about how that's related to the root chakra as well. So in July and further on over the next couple of years, what has been hidden has been being revealed for the last 10 years, really in an intense way in the last 5 years. And that intensity just seems to be growing. So the secrecy energies coming to the surface, anything that you hold within you, even if a secrecy is you are insecure and you're trying to keep that secret from other people by projecting a lot of confidence. So secrecy can have a wide range. Justice, the meaning of justice, for some, justice is a slap on the hand, and for others, justice is only, the death penalty. And you've got that wide range when it comes to justice as well. And then the mermaid energy is this very high frequency kind of dolphin whale type energy that is really impacting the root chakra right now. So let me just kind of jump in here. Your root chakra is a foundational energy center that's located in the pelvic region, and some they'll talk about it being kind of at the base of the spine or right where the coccyx is located. The root chakra is a spiritual library. And this spiritual library, it holds all the information in the root chakra, kind of like if you imagine a really large library filled with books. except in the root chakra, all these books are only going to be about how to survive life in a human body. How to survive as a spirit. How does your spirit help keep your body alive, growing, and thriving? But in this library are also the books of all the past lives that you've ever lived. And in each of those past lives, how did you survive and thrive? How did this same soul that's in this lifetime, back in those other lifetimes, help your body to survive? So what your spirit does is it really pulls from your root chakra in this space and time right now to say, so what did I do in the 1800s when there was a pandemic, and how did we help get Nancy, who's not Nancy back then, how did we help them to survive back then? So your spirit's always pulling from that information in your root chakra. So ultimately, I want to say, as a psychic and as a clairvoyant, as someone who's worked with thousands of human energy fields, that's the ultimate question all the time that your spirit is asking. How am I going to get them through this moment and through this next moment? And I will tell you, as an intensive care nurse, the human body is friggin' amazing and incredible in how it will fight tooth and nail to help you to survive. So the root chakra is really the supportive root of the physical and the emotional stability. So the first quality of the chakra, the root chakra, is all about grounding. Now, I work with students all the time and they are struggling to ground. They're just like, wow, I'm practicing and practicing and practicing, but wow, I'm having a hard time really getting these lower three chakras really solidly rooted on this earth and this lifetime. And so it can take practice. And imagine you are now 50 years old. If you haven't been consciously grounding or consciously attempting to ground, you just might have some catch up to do. But man, humanity and patience do not go together very well. We are living in a time of instant gratification. And so your root chakra knows how to ground in life. If it doesn't know how to ground in your life, it's going to know how to align with grounded people around them, and maybe even ground in their grounding to support if you don't feel like you can ground enough on your own. But the root chakra is all about, that's its main first quality, is about grounding. Your root chakra helps you to connect to the earth and have that sense of stability and security in the earth. And right now, we're having a lot of global warming. We're having, a lot of rains and floods. We're having earthquakes. We're having, wars and all of this stuff. And so that stability and security can get quite rattled right now. Your balanced root chakra helps you feel centered and connected to the present moment. The second quality is physical vitality. Well, I can tell you the biggest kind of ascension symptom that I'm hearing people talk about right now is this incredibly deep fatigue. So if you're having ascension symptoms right now, having to do, with headaches or nausea or fatigue or trouble sleeping, what kind of symptom are you having? And you can go ahead and put that in the comment section as well. So a well-balanced root chakra supports your physical well-being and your ability to feel that vitality. I've been working with some senior citizens teaching meditation, and just recently one gentleman told me, I had been feeling weak, I've been feeling fatigued, struggle sleeping, I'm doing all the right things, I think I was starting to lose my mind. I was starting to be concerned about dementia. And then he said, that root, he keeps saying, that root, tell me more about that root. Because when we brought up that earth energy into his root, guiding that, all of a sudden he got up and started dancing. He felt alive. He felt vital. So that's that root chakra. So a lot of people saying, yeah, fatigue, leg pains, lots of leg stuff, Verna. Absolutely. I've been noticing that. Kim is talking about fatigue, headaches, disrupted sleep. Roxanne, disrupted sleep. So lots of people are feeling these ascension symptoms. What is an ascension symptom? It means the frequency of your spirit is highly illuminated and absolutely gorgeously bright and wants to just go for the full capacity of awakening, and your body's just not quite sure yet. The body's like, well, let me take another nap first. Well, let me, do this first. Let me do that first. So that this is about balancing and harmonizing with your root chakra between your body and your spirit. Okay. The root chakra energizes your body, strengthens your immune system, and promotes overall health. Now, I'm telling you these things, but I can tell you most people are like, who cares? Who cares about all this root chakra stuff? Like, I just want to feel better, but I'm just going to keep going so that you really can tend to the root chakra and you can feel more than better. The third quality of the root chakra is safety and security. Right now, I can tell you safety and security is up big time. That's all people want to know. Am I safe and am I secure? And I'll have to tell you right now where I live, the crime level has really gone up, and I've taken to locking all the gates with a key lock around my gates to add that extra level of safety and security. Even though I have a healthy root chakra, I want to support my body's need to feel those elevated degrees of safety. So when your root chakra is in balance and harmony, you trust and you feel much more stable, and you feel like you can navigate life's resilience, the challenges with some resilience. Now, I've heard a couple of people say, I'm so tired of being the strong one. How many of you, oh my gosh, I used to say that so much. I'm tired of always being the responsible one, the strong one, the problem solving one, the one that's going to boots on the ground, take care of all these issues, help support you so you can feel like you can care for those issues. So that really used to be quite strong for me. Now I'm in a different place where I know that everybody's in their own place. But when you're tired of feeling the resilience and responsibility to have that strength for everyone around you, that gets pretty tiring. So I get when people say, I don't want to be the resilient one anymore. Okay. The fourth quality, this is the big one. This is the big one. One of the big ones. Manifestation, to your ability to create what you want and manifest it at the human level. Literally, with your root chakra so healthy, this is one of the reasons why it's so important for everybody to start balancing and harmonizing the root, is because when your spirit can snuggle on into your root chakra, your own spirit, that is when you can have a thought and it manifests. You have a thought and it manifests. And you will often hear me make these jokes about, I really want a pizza tonight, but I don't want to go out and pick up a pizza. And then suddenly there's a knock on the door from the neighbor saying, hey, I ordered a pizza and they sent me 2 and I only need 1. Do you want one? Those kinds of things can and will begin to happen on a rapid basis as the root chakra gets healthier. So the root chakra can help you ground your desire and manifest your goals. So often, if your root chakra is cold, dark, damp, the root chakra hasn't seen the light of day of your spirit in a long time, it's going to be, you're going to do all the right things, but not all the right things are going to fall into place. And I didn't realize this in the beginning. I was trying so hard to do all the right things, but when I put the right things into the funnel, what shot out the other side looked nothing like I wanted it to look. And so I couldn't understand what I was doing wrong. And what I didn't realize was that the lights were off in my root chakra. So again, a strong root chakra attracts abundance and helps you create prosperity. And then emotional balance is the fifth quality, because just above it is the second chakra, which is quite emotional. But when you've got a really solid root, it's going to help stabilize so that you're not emotionally all over the place. So you aren't constantly getting emotionally triggered. It's really important to really get that root chakra stabilized. Verna, question, impatience here. How long does it take to help a healthy root chakra back again? Well, I'll tell you what my teacher used to say when I used to ask questions like that. It depends on how you work with yourself. So what my teacher meant by that was, do you problem solve and find solutions and resolutions in your life through complex means? Like, do you make it harder than it has to be? Do you overthink things? Do you think that you have to put in a lot of effort before you get any abundance back? If you are like that, then it can take a long time. Like, it can take months, it can take a couple of years. But when you think about that, if you just start one step at a time, just bringing that root into balance, and I'll talk about how to do that a little bit further in the talk, um, that before you know it, it's a lot healthier. But then my teacher would say, well, it depends on how you work with yourself. If you believe you can let go of imbalance like this, you can have a balanced chakra in a nanosecond. So there's that range again. Remember, I was talking about that in secrecy, the range from I'm insecure to I've got a big dark secret to justice is a slap in the hand versus the death penalty. It's the same with how you work with yourself. If you think it's going to be really hard and it's struggling and there's all this big involvement, then it's going to take a long time. I work with a lot of students where I'm teaching that meditation on how to run your energy. And often they'll just, I can't do it. I can't do it. So they're always just like taking notes, taking more classes, when actuality, the number one thing that you need to do is sit your bum in the chair and start running your energy regularly. And for some people, a lot of people, they say they don't have time to meditate. And right now, you don't have time not to meditate. You just don't. It's just not optional. It should not be optional in your day to skip meditation. So, Warrior Girl saying, I heard once that if you had surgery in your stomach area, your chakra won't ever heal. That's a belief system that someone is holding as a truth that's actually a lie. Your skin can be cut, the energy field can be cut during surgery. The surgeon will stitch up the wound from the surgery, and you will stitch up the energy field from the surgery, and everything can work and function. How do I know this? Because I've had abdominal surgery. I was told the same exact thing, and I took it on as a challenge. I was like, okay, I'm going to see if I can challenge this in a different way and let my spirit teach me. So yes, Rebecca Fountain, I feel called. What do you mean you feel called out? Okay, so emotional, what do I want to say? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then your root chakra helps you to feel secure in your relationships and to express yourself authentically. So, how do you balance the root chakra? Well, the root chakra has a sound to it. Do you know how much I studied the sound of the root chakra 30 years ago? I so wanted to know every little detail about the root chakra. 30 years later, do you know I know nothing about the root chakra sound and it just doesn't matter anymore? So this is what I'm talking about. Don't spend a lot of time on that. But the root chakra has a sound. And I looked up what the sound is, Lam. So when you say lam, but it sounds like I am. So that's a sound, that's a tone. You can look up chanting for the root chakra. If you love to sing and you love to chant, that can help balance the root chakra. Of course, meditation, yoga, energy healing and balancing for all you healers out there. It's like, yeah, we know what it's like to bring healing energy through the root chakra. The root chakra has a color, which is red. It's a deep red. So not only can you chant the sound, but you can also meditate on that deep, rich color of red. But I'm going to tell you, I did all those things and it's valuable. I don't want to discount its value. All of it's going to work together really well, just like having a medical team where you have your therapist and you have your medical doctor and you have your spiritual medicine person and your energy healer. You know, you're going to use all of them together. But what I found helped me the most was dismantling the old pain, the old trauma, maybe the past lives where I died a very horrible death. Those things I could start to dismantle and dissolve, which then ended up bringing more light into my root chakra. So, there are profound mystical powers. This is what I want you to really know. Mystical powers associated with a well-balanced root chakra. This is where the mermaid energy comes in. This is where Pegasus energy, unicorn energy, land spirits come through. When you start to get more of a balanced, harmonious root chakra, you do much more start to have experiences with the mystical world. And so if any of you are already having those experiences, those are root chakra experiences. Because remember, those mystical beings of the earth, they're connected to the earth. The more you are in harmony with the earth, the more you'll have those mystical experiences. The root chakra, deep-rooted wisdom, ancestral connections. So once you start craving to study your ancestors, you usually will have had to have done quite a bit of work in your root chakra. So just to let you know that, because it's powerful work, once your root chakra is strong enough, your spirit's going to say, okay, now start working with ancestors. Harvest rose. Unicorns have been showing up in my grounding. Yeah, so that's a really strong indicator that your root chakra is pretty healthy, or it's getting healthy, or it is ultimately healthy. Then intuition and psychic ability. So when your root chakra is super healthy, balanced, and harmonized, your intuition and psychic abilities go through the roof and start waking up big time. And so this is why we're going through such a huge awakening right now. As people are getting more grounded, as their chakras are getting healthier, their natural leanings towards intuition become stronger, and people want to start knowing a bit more. We're not totally quite there, but we are a heck of a lot more there than we were even 10 years ago. And then having an active root chakra gives you that profound sense of oneness with the earth and the universe. How many of you are experiencing that right now? I most certainly am. I have started to experience this profound oneness connection in the last several years. And that just tells me I've done even more work at that root chakra level. So here is what most people want to know in the world that is driven by the root chakra. So I was meditating and I'm talking to spirit, and I said, if I was talking to the 7 billion souls on the face of the planet, And I wanted to know from those souls, what do they want to know about the root chakra? The answer that came back is, am I going to live or am I going to die? That's all people want to know. Am I going to live or am I going to die? Is my child going to live or is my child going to die? Is my husband or wife going to live or are they going to die? Is my mother or father? It's crazy. I was a hospice nurse. So that fear of even your grandmother dying, who's 95 years old, that's triggered by that root chakra. It's like, oh my gosh, she can't die. Well, oh my gosh, yes, she can die. Like it's time, but we really, really, that's all we want to know about. And I will tell you, people are terrified right now. It's like global warming. Are we going to, the heat, that's happening in the United States, and people are like, oh my gosh, this is happening so fast. Are we going to live or die in 5 years? Oh, we have this ascension symptoms. We're expanding. We're awakening. Your choices are getting narrow. When you get to the T in the road, are you going to turn left or are you going to turn right? And then you think from the root chakra, well, which one's going to help me to live? And which one's going to cause me to die? So that's what Spirit was telling me. That root chakra is, am I going to live or am I going to die? And often I will say, okay, I can't find the needle to sew the hem of these pants, and you get really upset. And then you have to remind yourself, is anybody going to die if these pants don't get hemmed? But we act like that. We act like everything comes down to life or death. That is an out of balance, unhealthy root chakra. So for those of us who are constantly fearing life and death, or making decisions based on life or death, that is that's that imbalance in the root chakra. So what Spirit then told me is, everyone wants, desires, and needs, this is driven from the root chakra, to have a sense of purpose in life, a strong sense of purpose. Your root chakra, the spiritual aspects of your root chakra, wants you to be alive. It's like, no, not just the heart beating, not just the breathing, but feeling vital and empowered and alive and excited. And that's why people jump out of planes and do these risky things, because you just feel so alive. But you don't have to jump out of a plane. There's a lot of things, take singing lessons. I used to take belly dancing lessons, and holy smokes, I felt more alive during that hour than I felt, for months on end. So there's this sense of wanting, the root chakra wants you to feel alive. However, what we're doing, the majority of the world, is not living life to the fullest, because we're spending a lot of time trying to not die. And so anyway, so that's that message. What are you going to do to help yourself feel more alive? Going out for walks and things like that. So, as Kathleen's asking, does the purpose in life come more from the root chakra or the high heart? Well, first of all, everyone's born with a purpose. All of you have a purpose. And this is what Spirit told me. Our main purpose, everyone's number one purpose in the entire world, is to ground the light into the earth, to take the connection in the earth and connect it to the connection in the cosmos through your body. All right. So if you just ground, you have fulfilled your life's purpose. But we all think we need to go feed the hungry children in Africa, or we have no life purpose. And that just isn't true. So that's my soapbox. I could go on about that one for a long time. And why? Because I understand it. I didn't understand purpose. And I realized, oh, wow, it's a lot simpler than I think it is. Like when we're thinking, who Rebecca Fountain saying, I got called out and I need to meditate and all that stuff. But what you might not know about Rebecca is she works in a library and she brings in all these really cool subjects and she's starting all these really cool clubs and she's thinking about starting a UFO club. Yep, I'm calling you out, Rebecca. But it's like trying to meet the needs of the community, the different experiences of the community. Is that not a calling or what? Is that not a purpose or what? And it's a lot of fun and it's simple and yeah, it's daring and it's edgy, which what does that do? Helps you feel alive. All right. So we're just going to do a meditation because, of course, that's what it's all about, is running that energy through we're going to run some energy through the root chakra. And we're going to connect this circuit of the root. And we're just going to gently, 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 gently keep bringing that earth energy from the root up the legs, through the root, back down the grounding. That's all we're going to do. And a really sweet 5-minute meditation. So go ahead and close your eyes and turn within. I can hear a lot of you thinking, life or death, life or death, life or death. So it's like, just go ahead and let go of that process around life or death. And let's just take some time to connect to the vitality and the life of your body. So yes, the high heart can contain the papers of your purpose, but to take action and live that purpose is a total root chakra thing. So go ahead and ground to the center of the earth. And since we're talking about the mysticism of the root chakra, that ultimate aliveness of the root chakra, allow yourself to imagine a grounding image that is mystical and magical and deep, embracing just how incredible Mother Earth is. You can ground like the tree, the spiritual tree in Avatar. You can ground with unicorns and mermaids, chipmunks, talking animals, lions, whatever you want to use. Let's just take a moment of quiet as you really reach deep and ground that root chakra really well. If you feel a little bit of anxiety or panicky, that can mean that you're in your root chakra. You do not want to go down in your root chakra. You want to stay in your upper chakras consciously while tuning into your root chakra. So just go ahead and let your light rise to the top while grounding off your root chakra. There you go. There you go. Now pretend that you can ground your feet to the center of the earth. So attach this grounding root or grounding image to the bottom of your left foot, the bottom of your right foot, and send that grounding cord all the way down to the center of the earth, right alongside your main grounding. we can carry a lot of fear of death, a lot of um, energy of not wanting to be in the body, that blocking energy in the legs. So right now, pretend and imagine that you're just kind of unplugging the plug out of a bathtub. You're going to let any congested energy drain out of your legs and your hips and your pelvis. Let it just drain right on down to the center of the earth. If it's feeling super intense, just open your heart chakra. That will help ease the transition. There you go. Now, what type of earth energy do you want to tap into? Do you want to tap into the mysticism of the water, of the oceans where the dolphins and whales are? Do you want to include whale dolphin sounds? Do you want to bring up mermaid energy? Or maybe it's the desert like Sedona and Arizona and the red rocks, and you want to bring up some of that red sand. Whatever you want to bring up, maybe it's the deep Pacific Northwest trees or the redwoods or sequoias in California. You want to bring up that richness of the ancient root system. So bring that earth energy all the way up. Allow it to flow up through your legs, ankles, knees, hips, into your pelvis. Gentle, gentle, gentle. And then let it cascade, kind of tip over and flow gently all the way back down to the center of the earth. And take a nice deep breath in as you're doing this, just like, as you're letting this go. Bring up that beautiful, mystical earth energy through the pelvis and all the way back down again. We have our famous garbage truck going by. So just imagine it's taking away any old garbage out of your survival chakra. And then just tell yourself, I am alive. I am alive. There you go. Remind yourself of what today's date is or the date that you're watching the replay. Remind yourself how old you are, because your root chakra can be triggered back to 3 months old, and yet you're 70. So just remind that root chakra how old, how many years of wisdom have you earned? Present time, present age, your root chakra. Nice. All right. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and thank your body and ask that that just gentle flow continue throughout your day through the root chakra. So when I teach, the form of meditation that we teach is just like this, just what you experienced. It's flowing healthy energy through the body that dissolves unhealthy energy. And that's the form of meditation that we teach. And so I definitely have some free guided meditations on my website, intuitivemind.org. You can go under the shop button, free meditation, guided meditations, click on that, and you can download any free meditations. However, you can also go in search of all kinds of different meditations and try those. But creating those still points for your root chakra is going to be really valuable in the coming days, weeks, and months. So remember, the frequency in July is really shifting a lot, and the frequency that's coming in from the galactic core and the great attractor really is going to require some healthy lower chakras, the first, second, and third chakra, which I'll be talking more about over the coming weeks. So take care, everyone. Have an awesome, fantastic day, and I'll tune in with you all again next Thursday. Bye-bye.